Hey gang, Will here from the Ashland Fly Shop, and we're talking about a fishing report for our region here, Southern Oregon, Northern California for, oh geez, where are we? The beginning of Feb. So not so much looking at what is happening right now, but what is coming up. So we have what looks to be a pretty nice little dry period here for the next week or so. So I think it's going to be a good time to try and get out. I think we're going to see maybe not rivers coming down a lot, but probably clearing up well. So that's kind of what we're looking at now. We've just had a tremendous amount of precipitation, which is so happy to say. But it has really impeded our fishing lately, so we haven't been able to get out as much. Unless you've been getting over to the coast, and then you've been finding a little bit of of clear water, lower water there. Obviously, those rivers drop down much quicker. So the Rogue, start with the Rogue. The Rogue coming out of the dam, we're still looking at flows over 2,000, which is pretty high. I think around 2,500. But those are going to start clearing up. The tributaries are going to start dropping. How many winter fish are up there? Probably still not very many. So, you could go start poking around as the flows kind of clear up and come down, from, the dam down through Shady Cove and in that area. Start poking around. I wouldn't get real serious about it though for probably another couple weeks or few weeks. The Applegate River is probably going to be a little bit better bet. It's still up around 1,500, so as you know, if you know that river, it's still pretty high. Targeted flows are really like 500 to 800, maybe 1,000, and that's really when you're going to find your best conditions for fly fishing. Still pretty high out there, but probably going to see more color come in soon. So if you live in that area, if you live in proximity, if you're in the Grants Pass area, if you're passing through, it might be worth taking a look out there. But I wouldn't really think there's too much going on maybe for another few weeks. And that's kind of the story for the Upper Rogue. The Klamath in Northern California, typically very stable, and we're down to about normal flows over there. We're down to about 1,900, 1,800, and that's good. That's a good flow. Still a little fast in some spots, but you're gonna have some nice slower water, some nice tailouts to fish there. I was just down there actually a few days ago, and it's still pretty colored up. You're looking at about maybe a couple feet of visibility. I think that's probably going to change pretty much though in the next few days. I think you're going to see more clarity kind of sneaking in there, especially down before like the Shasta River. So in the upper stretch around I-5, I think you're going to start to see that clearing up. And with that, I believe that you'll start seeing some better catch rates and stuff in there, and you'll see start seeing some fish, because there's definitely fish down there. We've had a couple trips down there. We've gotten some decent reports. If you're really covering a lot of water, even in the conditions that are there now, you have a pretty good chance of getting a fish. But as the water clears up, I think you're gonna, even be doing a little bit better. Really, the coast is kind of the big story. That's really what we look at. These higher water years, we're having more precipitation. The coast really clears faster. Can't say that we've had great reports as far as catch rates and stuff, but people have been getting into a fish here and there. But we're watching the coast pretty closely. Chetco, Smith, some of the other streams out there. The Rogue itself, I just saw the Rogue this morning's down to about 11,000 on the lower river, and that's looking pretty good. That's starting to get pretty good as far as flows if you're thinking of heading down there, and I think that'd be a pretty good bet for the next several weeks. Down there you're fishing over fish that are, going into all the major tributaries of the Rogue, so it's a pretty good bet. Big water though, and some of those other streams are definitely clearing a little bit quicker. So that's something that we're keeping track of, and we're happy to share that with you. In fact, Chetco, Smith, I would say even like today is probably a pretty good bet. Next few days probably going to start getting pretty low, honestly, but that's not bad either. So that's kind of what we're looking at. If you're a real hardcore trout angler this time of year, the holy water's still pretty high. I've definitely heard of a few hatches happening, but as we see the water maybe come down a little bit more, that's going to be a little bit more in your favor. Might see some nice midday hatches. Upper Sacramento, those rivers we enjoy fishing this time of year, probably going to see that river come down pretty dramatically. And I'll keep an eye on that. I'm not sure what's going on down there now. I know it's been quite high, but as it does come back into shape, we'll certainly know about that. So great. So we really appreciate you tuning in, and thanks for checking out the report. And it's been a crazy year, lots of changes, things happening almost on a daily basis. So you're always welcome to call the shop, and we'll be happy to share with you what we know. Thank you very much.